Hello and welcome, I'm Andy Richmond and this is the Big Match Preview brought to you by NFL Insight, taking a look at the Dallas Cowboys visit to the Big Apple to play the New York Giants. In this preview, what are we going to cover? Well, we're going to take a look at the betting markets, reflect on previous games between the two teams, their season so far, and take a look at those important tactical elements that could well decide this game. We'll also give you a small sample of our live match trading statistics, which we use to form the base of a lot of our trading decisions and strategies on Sunday night when we'll be trading this game between the Cowboys and the Giants live. First of all, let's take a look at how the odds on this contest are being assessed and compare them to our NFL Insight Master Tissue price. We produce that for each and every game on the NFL to give you an authentic and original tissue. Well, let's take a look at these games. You can see we probably think the Giants are a little bit too short in this game. We think that they should probably be around. This should be around a pick'em game, evens. The market seems to have been very influenced by that recent Giants resurgence, which we'll touch on in a moment. You can also see there we've got prices for the first points to score by a touchdown or the first points by field goal. Those percentages will give you a chance to compare the prices that they would convert into with what is available in the market. Now, for our pre-game prices, we've started using the Matchbook exchange for our trading and assessments, and we urge you to give them a try. They're a good alternative to the fixed odds firms and the exchanges, the established exchanges like BetDAQ and Betfair. Got good liquidity there, and they cover the LFL fully. There's a large variety of markets on there. You can see there's that discrepancy again. In the prices, 2.24 the Cowboys, 1.77 the Giants. That looks a little bit far out to us. We definitely make this more of a pick 'em game, and two sides that have been woefully inconsistent, and in that sort of situation you really have got to go with the bigger price. On the handicap, well, it's only been 1 point, and again that doesn't bring them quite close enough together. I think that should be a little bit of a bigger handicap there. I'd still be quite keen to take the Cowboys even plus that 1 point. Points in the game, 46.5. Well, that looks a little on the low side. I think that could go the over. These games have tended to be quite high scoring, and in fact have been a little bit of a shootout, and we've already seen that this year. We can move on there. We've already seen them. They combined these. This is one of the great NFL rivalries, the Cowboys and the Giants, NFC East clash as well, that we see twice a year. And of course we've seen some dramatic contests between them in the previous two seasons. But these contests usually produce points, and it's 67 points they combined to produce in week 1 of this year. So that 46.5 points, that could be a little bit low. The Cowboys, 5-5 on the year. They're coming off their bye week. Probably came at the right time for them, in fact. And they're hoping to repeat their opening day win over the Giants, but they have been inconsistent. The Giants, what can I say? They're 4-6. They were 0-6. They're now 4-6. Are we seeing another one of those famous Giants comeback and a run to the playoffs? Well, this week will probably tell us a lot. But let's take a look inside this game and see how the sides match up. Let's take a look at the dynamics for the Cowboys and a few things that could play out for them. And the Cowboys, well, the first thing I always think about the Cowboys, they still need to do a much better job on first down. Specifically, they need to attack defences downfield. They've got a quarterback in Tony Romo who has a near 70% completion rate on first down. That's the third highest for any quarterback with at least 50 attempts in the NFL. That's behind just Phillip Rivers and Peyton Manning. Now, these numbers suggest that the Cowboys are playing extremely conservative football on first down. They're not running the ball all the time, although they're still doing it too early in games. But what they're doing is just playing short throws. They're just substituting short throws for more carries. They should treat first downs as high upside situations and attack defences vertically down the field. Now, what else do the Cowboys need to do? Well, they need to give some of their players on the roster expanded roles. Well, offense, this means giving wider roles to players like Lance Dunbar, Cole Beasley and Gavin Escobar. Speed, hands and more options are exactly what this team needs offensively right now, and those three players would give them just that. Defensively, just getting healthy bodies is probably a weekly event. The bye week came at the right time. But playing players like Devontae Holloman would provide this team with a little bit of spark. He enjoyed a productive pre-season, he made some plays and applied pressure. And Cameron Lawrence will be another player. I'd insert a linebacker. He's got great tackling ability. They need just that little bit of spark, and they have the players on the roster to be given expanded roles to give that team this little lift. Now, Romo to Brian. quarterback Tony Romo and wide receiver Des Bryant, they're the heart and soul of this Dallas Cowboys offense, but the team isn't utilising its talented wide receiver in the proper way. Bryant is undeniably one of the best receivers in the NFL, yet he ranks just 7th in the league in targets. One of the fears of throwing to Bryant too much is when he's in double coverage is that the ball will land incomplete or worse, get intercepted. But Romo's passes to Bryant rarely ever get intercepted because Bryant is so effective at battling and fighting for the ball. No receiver with as many touchdowns as Bryant has only seen one pick come on his targets. Actually, of the wide receivers that scored at least 5 times this year, every single one has had at least one interception thrown by his quarterback on his targets. Furthermore, Bryant's play has been so efficient that it makes sense to target him more than any way that we are seeing. Now, one of the other things on defence, one of the things they have to do within Monty Kiffin's scheme is the ability to generate pressure with only 4 receivers. When the Cowboys can do that, they're effective. When they can't, they're not. It's that simple with them. With missed time from defensive end DeMarcus Ware and defensive tackle Jason Hatcher, the Cowboys just aren't able to get to the quarterback. That's a problem and something defensively that the Cowboys need to improve to create pressure, especially on error-prone Eli Manning. Now, penalties. These can kill any team, and before the bye week, the Cowboys shot themselves in the foot on 11 different occasions against the Saints. You can't do that. They gave up 82 yards to the Saints, as if the Saints need 82 yards. There were holding calls on both offense and defense, even a horse collar tackle call on Bruce Carter. Dallas didn't just rack up penalty yardage, they did so in epic fashion between defensive holding calls, face marks, anything you want to name, they were penalised for it. At this point in the season, it's clear the Cowboys have a real issue in terms of playing smart football. Jason Garrett, their head coach, might not be able to rid them of this trait, but he needs to at least limit the penalty call somehow, otherwise they are going to come back and kill them later in the year, if not in this game. Now let's look at the Giants. Somehow the Giants have managed to win games despite poor red zone production that has for the most part kept them at or near the bottom of the league. During their 4-game winning streak, the Giants have made 12 trips inside the opponent's 20 and have come away with just 3 touchdowns. That's 25%. While it's probably a small consolation that the Giants have scored either a touchdown or a field goal on 91.6% of their red zone visits during their 4-game winning streak, as the competition level increases, field goals are just not going to cut the mustard here. And how frequently have we seen that with sides getting into the red zone and just kicking field goals? 3 points are not enough in the NFL anymore. Now, third down conversions. They're ranked 22nd in third down conversion of the season. The Giants have converted 26 of 66 third down attempts. That's just 40% during their 4-game winning streak. Of their third and long situations, the Giants have converted just 20, with 92.9% of those attempts being passing plays. The point illustrated by those numbers is that by not managing to keep third downs manageable, the Giants' offense, which many fans have criticised for being too predictable, by dint of that comes even more predictable. This is because with half of the team's play options, the running plays removed from the equation, and I'll touch on the running game in a minute because they are running the ball well, the opposing team's defensive quality control coach has an easier time anticipating what the Giants might do based on just what they've done before, and that is not convert third downs well, and because they are forced into long passing situations. Now, the victory over the Packers was the Giants' 4th in the row, and it was noticeable in that game that they've seemingly ditched the losing ways that plagued New York through its first six contests of the year. And what was happening on their defense did step up and play, but I've got to say in those 4 games they've played a series of subpar quarterbacks or even backup quarterbacks along the way, and here the defense will get a proper test against a proven NFL quarterback, and we might just find out how good they are. And remember what I was mentioning earlier, that defense is going to get a good workout with the Romo to Bryant connection as well. Now, I've always thought that the Giants are better when they can run the ball effectively, and one style that seems to have been adopted or dropped for now is the flashy potential of the speedy David Wilson. He seems to have gone. Instead, they've adopted a more bruising running style. such as players like Brandon Jacobs, who weighs in at 264 pounds, Peyton Hillis, 250 pounds, Andre Brown at 227 pounds, and even rookie Michael Cox, 220 pounds. They've carried the load. They've been effective too, and I expect to see a healthy dose of that heavyweight backfield against the Cowboys. Now, it's been no secret that quarterback Eli Manning, he's had a tough season, and his swelling interception total has been heavily scrutinised, and much of the blame for the Giants' early season troubles was placed squarely on his shoulders. His passing game, which was once the saving grace of New York's offence, has shrunk in significance this season, and Manning's completion percentage is way down. He's improving though, and although Hakeem Nicks and Victor Cruz are still Manning's favourite targets in terms of yards and receptions, it's Ruben Randall he looks to in terms of touchdowns. In the past 6 games, Randall has caught all of Manning's 6 touchdown passes. When Manning was racking up the interceptions at a rapid pace earlier this season, it was noted that Randall was the intended target on an astonishing percentage of them. Since then, that scenario was flipped round. The chemistry between passer and young receiver has flourished in recent weeks, and it's certainly a connection as important to the New York Giants as the Romo Bryant connection is for the Cowboys. Now, I mentioned at the top of the show our exclusive trading stat sheets, and these have a lot of information about how the sides have responded in certain situations before and how often they go on to win the game in certain situations. They give you a guideline and a price to compare with what on offer at any point in time from the bookmakers. We know all these games are traded live in running, and they give you a real price. In our live trading room on Sunday night, we've got the ability now to predict a live tissue price and how likely statistical certain outcomes are to happen. Here we can see what the percentage chances each side would hold with these when holding these winning margins within the game. So we can convert these percentage chances into an actual tissue to give you an idea. We can also show you here just a small sample of the trading statistics, what the chances are of either side dashing out into a 10-0 lead. These could be particularly useful if you're trading the winning margin markets. All of this data gives you a really good idea of the ebbs and flows within a market and how it should be priced at any moment and situation within a game. Now, these statistics, they're just a small taste of the plethora of data that we have available within those sheets and on some other data that we have. They're exclusive to NFL Insight and via the live updates that we have fired into our trading room on a Sunday night when we're trading these games live, and are available to assess match situations and odds at an instant. Now, these match previews that you hopefully enjoyed listening to and watching are just a small part of what we do at NFL Insight. And if you like them, well, be sure to subscribe to the NFL Insight TV channel, which you can do via YouTube, where you'll see all our latest previews. And we'll be back each and every week with further match previews on all the big games in the NFL. And it's certainly a service we're hoping to expand in the future. You can also make sure you check out our betting focus previews via our website, which is www.betting-insight.com. where we take a look at all the best betting opportunities in the game once we have taken into account all the tactical factors that I've mentioned in this preview. We'd love you to come and get involved with us here at NFL Insight, where we'll be previewing more games and looking at more statistics with more trading views and betting advice. NFL Insight, we want it to be at the forefront of a new way of looking at and betting on the NFL.